Let me ask you a question. What do George Clooney, Denzel Washington, Brad Pitt, even Shamar Moore all have in common? They're attractive older men who actually got better with age. So today, I'm leaving my young guys at home, and this one's strictly for the fellas 40 and up who want to know if they fall into that same category. And as a dating coach who works with the older guys every single day, guys like Adam, Mark, and so many others, I've seen firsthand what it really looks like when a man becomes more attractive later in life. So here are the clear signs you're not just aging, but you're aging well. So we all know this crazy phenomenon that happens in our late 20s, sometimes early 30s, and it starts with our hair, right? It starts balding right there, starts getting a little patchy. Even me, my hairline started receding slightly. But if you're an older guy with a head full of thick hair and you kind of have that salt and pepper look, that is the first clear sign that you are an attractive older man. Because once again, most guys are losing their hair, they're receding, they're balding, they are deep on that Norwood scale. But the point is, if you still have your hair, you're definitely separating yourself from the average. Most people think of older men with losing their hair, but all the attractive men that I found who are older and they have that silver fox sort of look, it always comes down to having a thick head of hair. So even if you don't have a full head of thick hair, that is something that you can actually work on that can definitely elevate you in terms of attractiveness. Now, sign number 2, you're an attractive older guy, is if you can confidently date and attract late 20s to early 30s women. Listen, they all say younger women want older guys, but when you actually look at the data statistics, women usually want men that are in their age range just slightly older across the board, meaning that if she's 20, she likely wants anywhere between 20 to 23 years old. If she's 30, she likely wants somebody who is 30 to 35 years old. Very rarely do we see times in which a man is in his mid-50s dating somebody who is 29 or 31, with the exception that they have a lot of money, they have a lot of status and power, or of course, they are attractive. So even if you find yourself being able to attract and date these women, even if it's not that much, best believe you still got some looks on you. You still got it just a little bit, because I promise you, they're usually gonna opt for somebody who is just slightly older than them. But if they're going 10, 20 years above, that means you have something of value for sure. And it could be your looks. Now, aligned with the dating, sign number 3 is that childless women don't care if you have kids. Big one there. So us men, whenever we go out to the dating world, right, we usually, especially if we don't have kids, we usually don't want women with kids. And in the dating space, it is taught to really not deal with single moms. So that's like a bit restriction for us. Versus women, they tend to be a little bit more flexible, but most times women definitely have the same rule, especially if they don't have kids themselves. They usually don't want to be a stepmom, but best believe they are willing to take a gamble and make an exception for you. Notice how most of these signs is really just being the exception, right? So if you're attracting women without kids and you have kids and they're still interested in you, then that's a clear sign that you're definitely more attractive. So the largest organ on our body is our skin, and a part of looking more youthful and attractive in your older age is maintaining the health of your skin. And so for the most part, I think the next biggest sign that you're an attractive older guy is if you consistently use these 2 products. Number 1 is going to be retinol, and then number 2 is going to be SPF or sunscreen. Retinol is the gold standard of skincare. Think of it like the creatine of skincare. Retinol will anti-age you, it helps avoid those fine lines and wrinkles, it helps solve skin clarity problems, and makes your skin more brighter and overall more youthful. Any woman who is into anti-aging knows what retinol is, and if you're a guy who still looks good past 40, you likely also know what retinol is because you use it every single night. But not only that, like I said, SPF. The reason why most men look older, and women too for that matter, is because they're constantly out in the sun. They are aging their skin, they're becoming, that sort of leathery sort of look that a lot of older people have. But you look youthful, you look good, and it's likely because you're using SPF consistently. And that's exactly why, as a guy who's almost 30 myself, I started using these products back when I was 22 years old every single day, so that I know and I have the confidence now that when I am in my mid 40s to early 50s, 60s, I'm always going to look younger because I take care and protect my skin. Now, part of protecting and taking care of your skin, it also comes down to having a great skincare routine, something that is essential, something that you can do every single day without thought, knowing that you're checking all the bases. And I'll be real with you, most guys in their 40s, 50s do not have a skincare routine. Even my dad, somebody who looks quite good for his age, I asked him what was his skincare routine. This guy told me he splashes water on his face and calls it a day. I'm like, no. So what did I decide to do? I decided to give him a Tiege Hanley skincare set, who is also the sponsor of this video. Now, Tiege Hanley is the premier gold standard of men's skincare, and I've been using them since 2018. And the reason why I believe it's so efficient and it works so well is because they put quality ingredients into their skincare system and they make it formulated for us men. We like things simple. We don't want things complicated. That's Tiege Hanley's whole motto, making skincare uncomplicated, especially for us men when we're managing problems and dealing with stuff every single day. So the last thing we want to do is worry about, oh, what product should I put on my face? Tiege Hanley solves all of that. Now, personally, I love the level 2 or the level 3 system. It's gonna come with all the essentials to make yourself look more handsome and anti-age over time. Some of these products include the cleanser, which you're gonna use every single day, the super serum, which is gonna help avoid those fine lines and wrinkles, the eye serum, which you put underneath your eyes to avoid those wrinkles and dark spots. And then of course we got our moisturizers, AM moisturizer, which you're gonna use during the day because it does have SPF in it. And then also the PM moisturizer, which you're gonna simply use at night. Now, also what I love about Tiege is that every single skincare system comes with this little card that will tell you exactly what you should do morning and night, so that way you never forget. They also include specialty products, for example, retinol, so that way you can use that on your face at night in tandem with the Tiege system. Now, because Tiege is sponsoring this video, they're offering you guys an amazing deal. If you click down below, you're gonna see an offer for 40% off your first box alongside with the free gift. Now, the free gifts are running out fast, so you will have to act soon. And like I said, this makes an amazing Christmas gift, an amazing gift for anybody, including yourself, especially if you're using water like my dad. So thanks to Tiege for sponsoring this video. Once again, I'm gonna leave a link down below so that way you can claim your first box. Now, speaking of my dad was actually in town with me. I live in Miami. He came to visit me. We went out to the beach. We went to this nice restaurant on the ocean side in South Beach. And this lady across the table from us pointed out that, you know, we look good. Are we brothers? That's exactly what she said. She said, are you guys brothers? I'm like, no, that's actually my dad. Of course, he felt complimented, but I only hope to have that compliment when I'm in older age. So the next sign is that people actually think your kids are your siblings or your spouse. You know, this is just one of those things that perception is reality. If you look younger, you're with your child, you know, you guys look like brothers, or, you know, you look like you're dating, which obviously is weird, but nonetheless, it is a compliment. So if people are telling you that on occasion, then that's definitely a good thing. Now, sign number 6 is that when you do tell people your age, people are genuinely shocked about how old you are. Like I said, I work with older guys all the time. And sometimes the guys come in and they'll be, you know, 56, 57, but I'll guess like 45 or early 40s. And I'm like, wow, man, like you've kept yourself up very, very nicely. You've aged very, very good. And what's funny is that a lot of these individuals look worse when they were in their early 20s or early 30s, and they just have gotten better with age. Maybe it was some lifestyle habits, maybe they stopped smoking, maybe they stopped drinking, maybe they started getting better sleep. Who knows? But if you tell your age to people and they are shocked, they thought you were 10 years younger, 5 years younger, sometimes even 15 years younger, that's an amazing sign. Now, sign number 7, I kind of just said, but that is that you objectively look better than you did when you were younger. Looking at your old pictures, if you're like literally unrecognizable and you're just a different person, even though you were younger, that is a clear sign that you've just definitely have gotten better with age. Even me, myself right now, like I've noticed this on a smaller scale. So me being 29, I feel like I objectively look better than when I was 19, which was 10 years ago. When technically, if youth is tied to attractiveness, I should have looked better when I was 19, right? No, I didn't. Now, some of that is my own fault, not understanding what actually looks good and then crafting myself into that image. But point is, if you look better now than you did 10, 15, 20 years ago, that is a clear objective sign that you have gotten better with age and that you are attractive for your age. Now, before we end the video, I'm gonna leave you off with number 8, and that is young guys see you as the cool guy and they take advice from you. Listen, if you're in your 50s, 60s, or even your 40s, if you speak to the young kids, you know, they're calling you unk, they're calling you a boomer, they're calling you grandpa. Usually they don't take older people's advice seriously. That's what I've noticed. But if you look the part, if you have a bit of swag to you, you know, if you look like the cool uncle, the cool grandpa, young guys actually see you as a sense of inspiration and motivation and actually are more willing to take advice from you. And that's a clear sign that is directly tied to your level of attractiveness. If you look good, people listen. If you look bad, people don't want anything to do with you. That's the nature of humans and just the reality of the world today. And so if you're noticing that young guys come up to you and ask you for advice, or they're interested about your habits, about your routines, about what you do to take care of yourself, then that's definitely an amazing sign that you are aging amazing, my friend. Now, if you are an older guy watching this video and you do want to work with me one-on-one to improve your dating life by all metrics by installing what I call the Romeo effect, then check out what I made for you down below. I'll show you the exact process I use to take guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and get them dating attractive, high-quality women in their 30s and even sometimes late 20s on autopilot. The link will be down below. And of course, don't forget to check out Tiege Hanley, the best skincare system for men, and makes an amazing gift for this holiday season. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.